how do we improve the yield or the evacuation and evacuated energy from the site. So let's understand how analytics can help here, right? You can actually have a land which is such a big parcel, but it's generally not flat. All the flat ones and the good land parcels that are available or favorable for solar are already taken. Now you have left with maybe I would call a second tier parcels, right? These have some undulations, some water ponds, some trees, some rocks, all kinds of obstructions. And so through analytics, you can actually identify all these ahead of time and through some surveying data and do and perform what are called as keep outs to make sure that those regions are not where you want to either place the rows or even get your traffic to go through. And one of the things that happens because of the land undulations is you have all these rows that are placed one next to the other, but they're not at the same level. And there is a potential for inter-row shading. That means if you have two rows that are neighboring rows, when let's, for example, use trackers as an example, a single axis tracker, then you have these rows facing the sun and tracking the sun through the day. And at times, either in the early morning hours or late evening hours, you can have inter-row shading. That means the shade of one row is cast upon the next adjacent one at some point during the day. And to avoid that, you come up with what are called as backtracking algorithms, etc. But what you can do with the analytics is understand the elevation differences between the rows, for example, by looking at the survey of the land, and then use that to tune your backtracking algorithms to minimize the amount of shading that happens across the rows. As you know, shade is an enemy of solar, and you don't want you want to absolutely minimize the amount of shading you see or the solar panels see during the day. And by appropriately tuning the backtracking algorithms, you can actually reduce the amount of shading across the rows and hence maximize energy. Again, there's an example of how analytics can help with improving the yield at a site. So I believe, just like the way I stated in the slide, every step of the solar plant construction can benefit from data analytics. So I didn't want to go through every one of these examples, but I just wanted to highlight a couple of them to say that analytics does have an important role to play. Leveraging it would help get to a better state than where we are in. And it's really an easier play to get to maximize output from an investment that's already been committed. That's how I see it, Matt.
Yeah, no, that's terrific. Thanks for